You've probably heard it before. If you get bigger, you're gonna get slower. Or if you want to be fast, you gotta stay light. But what if I told you that's complete BS? I get it. Some athletes come to me wanting to gain weight, but they're afraid to lose speed. Others come to me trying to cut weight, but are afraid that they are going to get weaker. And you're right, some athletes do gain weight and they lose speed. Others lose weight and they lose strength. But it doesn't have to be this way. If either of these are you, you're in the right place. Today I'm going to teach you how to do both. You can get bigger and faster at the same time. You can also get leaner and stronger at the same time, but only if you train and eat the right way. So let's talk about 3 biggest mistakes that athletes make. These are key both for those who are bigger, stronger, faster, and those who want to get leaner, stronger, faster. If you are taking your training and nutrition advice from a bodybuilder, yeah, you're probably going to lose speed. You are an athlete, not a bodybuilder. Bodybuilders are focused on size, physique. They're focused on the weight room. You as an athlete, you need to be fast. You need to be, yes, strong, but you need to be able to move. Bodybuilders don't really need to move like you do. So if you're taking advice from some bodybuilder online or you're buying the supplements that this bodybuilder bought, then yeah, you're probably going to lose speed. You're probably not going to get the results you want. Second mistake that athletes make is they overload on protein while skipping carbs. So first off, let's talk about the bigger, stronger, faster athlete. So many athletes that come to me, they fill out their food log. They tell me what they had in the last few days, and I take a look and I'm like, dang, you hit your protein. You're hitting 1 gram per pound of body weight, or maybe even more. You got your 3 protein shakes, you got your meals, you got all this protein, but you're not getting any weight. You're not getting much stronger. And the issue is because you're missing everything else. Yes, protein is important, but it's not the whole picture. So for those who want to get bigger, stronger, faster, you need carbohydrates. You need fats. You need volume. Carbs are going to help you be faster and more explosive. Carbs are going to help you gain weight in a sustainable, healthy way if you do it right. So make sure that you're doing that. On the athlete who is trying to lean out, you also need carbohydrates. We're going to go into this here in a little bit, but yes, we should prioritize protein. We should utilize that, but we also cannot ignore carbohydrates. If you completely cut out carbohydrates as an athlete trying to lean out, or really any athlete, you are going to sacrifice performance. You are not going to get the most out of your workouts. So make sure that, yes, we maybe decrease the carbs, but we are not going to be cutting it out altogether. Third mistake I see athletes make is the dirty bulk. So this is, of course, specifically for the athlete who is trying to get bigger and stronger. If you're dirty bulking by taking mass gainer, by just relying on fast food for your calories, then yes, you are probably going to gain fat and you are going to lose speed and power and explosiveness. If you're gaining more than 0.5 pound to 1 pound a week, then you're probably gaining unnecessary fat. You're probably going to be losing speed. Those first couple weeks, you might see, say, 2 pound weight gain each week, those first couple weeks. Some of that's going to be water weight. After that, though, you should really be gaining about 0.5 pound to 1 pound a week. Otherwise, again, you are going to be sacrificing speed and explosiveness. Now, I want to highlight those mass gainers for a sec, because this is one of the big mistakes athletes make. When you look at that supplement label from the mass gainer and you see what's on there, that label doesn't have to be correct. Supplements are not regulated the same as food. So when you look at that mass gainer label, there's probably things that are inside that product that are not actually on the label. There might be things on that label that are not inside the product. Mass gainers are one of the most likely supplements to be adulterated, the most likely supplement to have something in it that is not on the label. So if you want to take risks and you want to potentially hurt your performance, hurt your body, and even as a college athlete, sacrifice, potentially getting drug tested and, being suspended, then yeah, go ahead, take that risk. But if you want to be an elite athlete, if you want to maximize your performance, then let's not use the mass gainer. Onto the fast food. Yeah, fast food is calorie dense. It's not necessarily performance enhancing though. If you really want to be the best athlete you can be, if you really want to be a D1 athlete, then you cannot rely on fast food. You might need it here and there. You might need to, grab some grilled chicken from Chick-fil-A or a Chipotle bowl or something. But if you're relying heavily on fast food, then yeah, you're probably going to lose speed and you're probably going to sacrifice performance. And on top of that, you might actually be more likely to get injured. So just because you're gaining mass doesn't mean you're necessarily becoming a better athlete. Make sure that mass is good mass. Make sure you're getting leaner, you're getting stronger. You're maybe gaining water weight, but you're not adding in extra fat that's going to slow you down as an athlete. Now, how can you gain muscle without losing speed? So we're going to talk about the gaining side, and then we'll talk about the leaning side afterwards. So how do you gain muscle without losing speed? Step one is strength train like an athlete. So yes, we should be doing compound lifts and doing the heavy lifting, but we also need to make sure we're incorporating explosive work. We want to incorporate things that are going to produce power and speed through our lifting. So that's the key part. That's your strength coach, your those types of coaches can focus on that with you, but make sure that you're not just lifting. Make sure you're doing other things. With that, number two is make sure that you are doing speed work. If you don't want to lose speed, then don't stop doing speed. You should be incorporating speed, agility, explosiveness type training, jumping, whatever it might be, to help you continue to gain that speed. When I worked with Drew Wicklander on him gaining size and strength as an athlete, we made sure that he was still doing speed training once a week. We still made sure we had that built in so that, yes, he could get stronger, but he didn't sacrifice speed. And what do you know? After gaining 30 pounds, he still got faster after 30 pounds. So you can do it. You just have to do it the right way. And part of that is in your training side. So make sure that you're actually incorporating that into your training. Now, third part, this is huge. This is obviously where I specialize, is eat for muscle and performance. So as I mentioned before, if you are gaining more than a half a pound to a pound a week, then you might be sacrificing speed. So make sure that you are fueling the right way. Make sure that you're gaining steady weight versus going all in and doing this dirty bulking. The dirty bulking, even if you gain really fast and then you cut, chances are, number one, it takes way longer. Number two, you might sacrifice performance and recovery. And number three, you probably won't feel that good. And the cutting part's going to be a lot harder. And it's going to put a lot more stress on your body. So do it in a steady way. And as I mentioned, yes, we need protein. Protein helps us build muscle. But do not forget about your carbohydrates. So many athletes, again, come to me. Again, Drew was a perfect example. And they were eating all the protein that they needed, but they weren't gaining any weight. They weren't getting really the muscle that they needed. Once we started adding carbohydrates, not just chips and candy and soda and whatever, but actually intentional carbohydrates, whole grains, fruits, potatoes, etc., started getting bigger, stronger, but also gaining speed. So, if you want to get the most out of your workouts, you cannot ignore carbohydrates. The other piece of that, though, is make sure you're still getting the fat and you're still getting the color. We want healthy fats, we still want the high quality proteins, and we still want the color, because that is going to help you recover faster. That's what's going to help you bounce back and stay strong and not get injured. Now, what about the athlete who wants to get leaner? For you guys, how do you get leaner without losing strength? Because I know you guys want to gain speed. You guys want to get speed, you want to get your power, but you also don't want to sacrifice strength for that, because that's what you're known for. You're known for the power of how hard you hit the ball. You're known for the power on the O-line or D-line. You're known for that, but you want to get more speed. So just like with the athlete trying to gain weight, we want to do it in a steady way. So rather than going on some crash diet where you cut a ton of calories all at once, we do a gradual deficit. So your goal when it comes to numbers is going to be pretty similar. It might be a half a pound to a pound a week. It might be 1 to 2 pounds a week. It depends on how much you really need to lose. Maybe as a 300-pound athlete, you probably could do 1 to 2 pounds a week and it'd be okay. But for a lot of you guys, it might be just a half a pound to a pound a week. Now, if you wanted in percentages, think about a half to 1% of your body weight per week. So if you're 200 pounds, that's about 2 pounds, up to 2 pounds a week. Again, you might have a jump in the beginning. You might lose some quick weight at those first couple weeks, depending on what you're doing to change your nutrition and your training. But over time, you want to, again, keep it in that range. No more than 2 pounds a week, ideally closer to that 1 pound a week. If you're losing weight too fast, chances are you are losing muscle mass, not just fat. Muscle weighs more than fat. And again, there's only so much fat we can lose in a week. So make sure that you're not losing too fast. Too many athletes, though, are trying to crash diet. They're trying to cut too fast. And again, this is going to sacrifice your muscle and your power. Another one of the baseball athletes that I work with, that was one of the things he was doing. He was trying to go on different crash diets, trying to do whatever he could find online. He was researching, he was trying to find what would work for him. But the problem is it wasn't really customized to him, and he didn't have the guidance, he didn't have the support. And so what happened was, maybe he'd lose some weight initially, and then he would plateau, and then he'd binge. Because if you are severely cutting out carbohydrates, or you're severely cutting out calories all at once, then yeah, you are going to crave food. You're going to crave sugar. You're going to crave chips. You're going to crave all those convenience foods because your body's basically trying to fight you. Your body, your metabolism really likes to keep things steady. So if you try to cut calories really fast, then it's going to do what it can to slow things down. It's going to slow your metabolism down so that it doesn't hurt you as much, because it wants to keep you where it's used to. But if you do a gradual decrease, you cut out a few hundred calories, you make a few different adjustments in your week, then it's going to be less dramatic. It's going to fight you less. It's not going to hurt as much, and you're going to get better results long term. Think about your mom, your dad, your aunt, your uncle, that person across the street that tried to lose weight on keto or whatever, and then they gained it all back, is because they tried to do too many things at once. It was too extreme for their body, and their body wasn't ready for it. Or maybe they just love carbohydrates, and you cutting out carbohydrates, if you love carbs, is going to be an issue. Whether it's then, whether it's a few weeks later, whether it's months later, it's going to come back, and all that weight's going to come back with it. So if you're trying to cut, let's focus on a few key things. Let's focus on moving that needle in a steady way so that you can maintain this weight. Because back to that athlete, again, he'd get frustrated when he plateaued. And so then he would binge on some of those foods. And it just was this vicious cycle. So he wasn't really getting the results he wanted. Now, fast forward to us working together. What I actually found, what was interesting with him, is he actually was not eating enough. So some of you guys who are trying to lean out, male or female, chances are you guys might actually not even be eating enough. And again, your body's trying to go in conservation mode. It's trying to conserve everything. So that's why you're maybe not losing weight, is because you're not eating enough. Because what happened with him, we started eating more. I actually added more to his diet. We started eating more consistently pre-workout. But he was training 4 hours a day, 2 days a week, and then 2 hours a day, multiple other days a week. So we made sure that he got good fuel before that first workout. We helped him recover and fuel in between those two workouts. And then he had a protein smoothie post-workout to help him with that recovery process. Because what was happening with him was he was constantly sore, constantly fatigued, tired, and not performing as well as he could. So once we actually got him what he needed, he started losing the weight. He started feeling more energized. He had faster recovery, and he felt so much better doing it. And now we're just on that steady process of, again, losing that little bit of weight each week, and we're heading in that right direction. So this is what you guys got to do. This is why I stress so much to you guys. Breakfast, pre and post workout. I don't care what your goal is. If you don't have those three things figured out, you're not going to get great results. Figure out those three things and you're going to see great results. One more thing, actually two more things on the athletes trying to lean out. Number one, yes, we need protein. Aim for about 0.8 to 1 gram per pound of body weight a day, but we cannot ditch those carbohydrates. As I just described in that athlete example, he was not fueling his workouts, which meant he was not getting the most bang for his buck. He was getting maybe 60% out of that workout when he could get 100% out of that workout. So if you're cutting carbs severely, you're going to sacrifice your power. you're going to sacrifice your strength. So, yes, we should decrease calories, and some of that calorie is going to be carbs. But around your workouts, we really need to make sure we're getting those carbs. So, again, pre workout, post workout, make sure you're getting carbohydrates. Then the rest of the day doesn't mean we're not eating any carbohydrates, but maybe we're doing less. So, maybe you're used to eating a whole baked potato. Maybe we're going to do half a baked potato. Or maybe you're eating 2 slices of bread, some fruit, all these other things at breakfast, or multiple pancakes. Maybe we're shifting to more whole grains, maybe less amount of that, and we add some fruit to it. Or again, overall, just decreasing some of that volume. Still getting the protein, still hitting the whole grains, but really focusing on that. The other thing I want to highlight for you guys trying to lean out too is fiber. So protein helps you feel fuller. That's one of the reasons why athletes who are trying to gain weight struggle to gain weight when they're eating all that protein, is because they're getting full too fast. So again, for the athlete trying to lean out, we're going to up your fiber intake too. That means the vegetables, that means the fruits, that means more of those whole grains for your carbohydrates. Because the more you do those things, the more you're going to feel fuller, the less you're going to naturally eat. So little strategies that you can do. But again, make sure you're not doing this all at once. Choose one thing, then work on the next thing, then work on the next thing. If you try to do it all at once, you're probably going to get overwhelmed. Your body's probably going to freak out, and you're not going to get results. Pick 2 or 3 things. Now, last piece I want to highlight for those trying to lean out. Make sure that you're at strength training, but just like the other athlete, let's do some sprinting work. Let's do, you guys want to get faster, so let's make sure that you're doing sprint work at least once a week. You might do it more often, who knows, depending on your schedule, all that kind of stuff. If you're maybe incorporate some endurance stuff, conditioning, things like that, they're going to burn more calories. But again, remember, if you are already working out 3-4 hours a day, chances are it's probably not that you're eating too much, it's probably that you're not eating enough. If you're training really high and you're still trying to lean out, chances are you actually need to eat more to address that, to fix that. But yeah, I really want to stress that not every athlete needs to just cut calories to lose weight. You might need to actually increase calories. So just let me be clear. If you're trying to get bigger, stronger, faster, or you're trying to get leaner, stronger, faster, and you are losing energy, you are losing strength, or you are losing speed, then you're doing it wrong. Wave that red flag in the air, because something ain't right. You should be, as an athlete, I don't care if you're gaining weight or losing weight, you should be gaining energy, gaining strength, and gaining speed. You should not have to sacrifice that. So if you are sacrificing it, again, something's wrong, and we got to address it. And then just some quick tips, some quick summary points for you guys. Are you lifting heavy? Are you sprinting weekly? And are you focusing on more than just calories? Are you focusing on the right macros, the right timing, timing those carbs around the workouts? Are you incorporating color, the fruits and veggies that help you recover faster? Make sure that you are doing these things. Whether you're gaining or leaning, they're going to help you achieve your goal. You just got to do it in the right way. Because if you're not, then you're basically just doing what everyone else is doing. Make sure you're eating like a D1 athlete, not just like everybody else. Now, are you actually training and eating like an athlete who wants to go D1? Or are you just saying it'll happen? Your actions speak louder than words. Make sure that your actions match what you say. The ones who eat and train right are the ones who get the offers. They are the ones that get the opportunities that they dream of. So, if you're tired of getting so-so results and want to maximize your potential, text me BUILD to 253-470-2423. And let's make sure you're on the right track. And until next time, keep striving for greatness.